what the difference is between you and Pantelis. Okay. So you'll hear something.
Sex appeal. You got it. I'm looking for it.
Oh. You'll hear
I thought
something.
it's the other way around, but anyways.
You'll hear something.
Yep.
And you'll be like, oh my God. Well, yeah, of course Kamala Harris put people in jail. She's a prosecutor. You don't hear something and go, okay, who did she put in jail? Who are the people? For what purpose? And for what? Because these people have quotas too, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just using this as an example. It's a bad example, I just realized. But you'll hear something, repeat it to people, and whereas opposed to he'll hear something and be like, does that make sense? He'll second guess what was said and why it was said. He'll look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. If you're a mischievous, let's use the word, if you're a mischievous prosecutor, the judge still has to say, no, you're full of shit. I'm not giving you that kind of, you know what I mean?
No, they generally side together. Like you live in like a fantasy realm.
I don't know how this stuff works. I'm not a criminal, and I've definitely never been busted.
No,
on
you are a
stage.
criminal.
Yeah,
You're
you are a
definitely
criminal.
You serve time.
Career, I said. I'm not a
Oh no,
career
it's not your
criminal.
career. You're bad at it, but you're a criminal.
You are a career criminal, just your career hasn't gone anywhere.
Oh yeah, you're a career criminal.
You've been committing crimes all your life.
Yeah, you're a career criminal. Just that your career has never taken off.
Yeah.
If you want to,
You're like
tell you something
you know
funny.
you are. You're the community theater of criminals. Yeah.
If you want to artificially play between stupidity and criminality, well,
Hold on. You had to serve time. Am I correct? You did house arrest.
time, but not in a facility.
Well, in
a home.
you should have been in a facility. Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? That they don't just give that to idiots.
Also, Adam, you do
let's
something
not
that
bring
pisses
that
me off. Had it really been out of stupidity and not intentionally, first of all, you wouldn't be saying that sentence. You
Yeah.
wouldn't even realize of what you did. You'd just be like, you wouldn't even be saying that. You wouldn't even be thinking. Like you thought just to slither away from people and your image or whatever the fuck you want to call it. To say like, no, I committed crimes out of stupidity.
No,
not
my
because-
friend, this is
Those
stupid.
are your words.
But did he not just say that?
You did say that.
I said I am not a career criminal.
But that's only because you haven't had a good career.
Yeah,
but
and then
you
you
have
said-
been committing crimes as a career.
And then you said I'm a career criminal out of stupidity, not intentionally.
You did say that.
You just said
I
that.
don't want to turn this into an argument. There's no way that could have been on my mind. No way.
He literally.
You were talking
It's okay.
about U.S.
It's okay.
prosecution and shit, and I said I'm not.
I
a
was
career
talking about
criminal.
U.S. prostitution. It's
Well,
okay.
I'm not involved in that either. So
Well, clearly you're familiar with it down in Washington.
So, Adam, I don't know if you've seen this. This is going to hit home for you because it might cause nightmares, actually. The police in Toronto, the Canadian police, was outnumbered and outmanned, and I think they were taking a bit of a beating from
kidding.
Indians celebrating Diwali.
I know what that is. That's a thing for lights. I know it's a
Oh, I
celebration.
have to talk about this.
But
Speaking of that-
well, hold on. What was the need for the police to be there? You make a
Well, because
celebration.
they were blocking the street and they didn't have permits. So then the police went there, and then the
kidding me?
yeah, and then they just said, "Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here, my friend!" It was very funny. And then to add insult to injury, then there was a clash in Brampton. There's the Hindu temple.
Oh.
You saw that, Poseidon?
No. Oh, please bring that up.
Okay, I'll bring it up. Poseidon, and I don't know. Don't quote me for who's right or who's wrong. I literally don't know what side each thing is. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're fighting.
आज हम लोगों को अपने बारे में नहीं अपने आने वाली संतति के बारे में
But we don't speak Hindi.
Devotees of a group were attacked by Khalistani extremists. I don't know what Khalistani is.
I don't. It's the first time I hear about it.
Rhymes with Pakistan, but I don't know if it's related.
Like some are, I guess, pro-India, some are anti-India, and they went ham. I think it's the Indian Islamists.
Maybe.
Crazy. This is in Brampton,
Why is there an American flag there?
USA.
Why is there? Hold on, I'm so confused.
Freedom
What's a Sabha
I'm
Mandir?
so confused. Why is there an American flag?
in the Hindu Sabha Mandir in Brampton.
Dude, what is happening?
Brampton's happening, brah. Pretty crazy, huh?
What's a miscreant? First letter.
You.
You're a miscreant, right?
People who are miscreated.
You're a miscreant.
Yeah,
But
you were miscreated.
at the end of the day,
That's funny. By the way, I have something to talk about this. In Park X,
yeah.
there was, I would say for days, man. Like it started 5 days ago and it ended 2 days ago. So for 3 days straight, there were just people, bro, running around in the streets in Park X, fireworks throughout the entire day. Not just like 1 hour.
I think
at
that's
night.
Diwali.
Yeah. The entire fucking day, dude. The first day, I hear fireworks in the day. I'm like, that's fucking weird. It kept going. Fireworks, this firecrackers, this, that. Sometimes big, loud bangs, eh?
Baby, you're a
I'm like,
firework.
okay, that's weird that they would do that. Second day, continuing. Third day, finally, cops showed up, and they were all over the place. The cops. At some point, I'm walking, and I see these guys in a silver Honda Civic,
Aye.
one of the newer ones, and he goes, "Where are you going?" And the other guy goes, "I'm going Acadie South. That's where I'm going next." So they were.
Acadie South.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, hop in. And he hopped in, and I guess they brought him. So they were all like synchronized and shit.
Well, I guess you'd have to be, right?
Yeah. So they
Did you
were
see any
just.
arrests?
I don't know if there were any arrests, but yeah, they were just for 3 days, fireworks. So, and like, here's the thing: if you have a celebration, because Greeks too, you know, when we have Easter,
Yeah.
at midnight when when Jesus comes out, we shoot fireworks.
Talking about Easter when Jesus comes out. You know when Jesus comes out, bro.
No,
and
but
he hangs?
you know what I'm talking about. What's it called?
Yeah, there's ways of saying it, but you're talking about Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at midnight, and we shoot fireworks
Yeah.
for like 30 minutes.
Young.
They come down on us like insanely hard. These guys,
Yeah, but we're also not that many. It's easy.
exactly. Them 3 days continuously, just blasting fireworks the entire time,
Well,
and the cops didn't give a shit.
I don't think it's
believe
that they
the
didn't
most-
give a shit. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, it's too many people. You can't.
Well, I saw their faces. Most of them had given up. They were just there to patrol. They're like, I guess we're patrolling now. You know, some cops were serious. They were fucking had their lights on. They were shutting down traffic and shit, and they were speeding through. They're like, fuck, because people complained a lot, from what I understand.
And people get mad at that shit.
And like, here's the thing, and this is my opinion on this. If you have a celebratory thing, I understand it's important for you and you have to celebrate, but not for 3 days straight in a residential fucking area, nonstop, bam, bam, every 2 minutes. Eventually, it gets annoying and frustrating, and for people who would have been on your side and be like, no, go ahead, do your celebratory thing. You're gonna get them against you. Why not go out of the fucking city or somewhere in an open field and shoot fireworks?
field.
No, but for real, you know what I mean?
Was it that bad? Like, it's
It
just
was
you
that
can't
bad, dude.
sleep,
It was
huh?
continuously. People couldn't sleep. I spoke to one of my neighbors. He's like, yeah, I couldn't sleep last night at all. Just until like 5 a.m. All day shooting fireworks. Now, I'm a heavy sleeper, so at night I didn't hear it. But during the day, dude, just fireworks, firecrackers the entire time. Man, if you have your celebratory thing, you know, do it for, okay, it's the end or whatever. Do it for a good 30 minutes. Shoot your fireworks at night. Make a nice little light show. People are gonna be like, oh, that's cool. Because people like fireworks. You know what I mean? People
I
don't hate
love
fireworks.
fireworks myself.
But if you use them like that, like a jackass,
You're
and
very
just,
passionate about this.
and just you're terrorizing. Yeah, because it was in my fucking neighborhood, bro. And it was pissing me off as well. Just continuously throwing firecrackers and fireworks all the time for no reason.
I'm very sorry to hear about this.
And annoying people, pissing people off. Like at some point, okay, fuck off, bro. Fuck your celebratory shit. Fuck your celebrations.
Yeah, okay, I get you. Yeah, it's noisy, and the cops should have done something. But what do you think the cops could have done for real? Like, what would you have liked to see them do?
Oh, they couldn't do nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Therein lies the problem. You look grumpy, my friend.
I was about to say something, and it may or may not bode well with you.
Say it.
Correct me if wrong, but any person who has common sense would say, well, if these people should get arrested, it depends what city bylaws say, right? If you can have a celebration for 3 days,
That
have
sentence
one.
didn't make sense.
Can I say?
So the city
In terms
does
of
not
gauging
let
how
you.
to deal
He
with the
literally
situation.
okay, go
Sorry.
on. Poseidon, go.
Go ahead.
Can I say something? Even if they arrested them, the Canadian government releases criminals after a week back onto the street for grand theft auto. Do you honestly think they're going to do something to a bunch of teenagers shooting fireworks?
I hope not.
I never thought about it, but
Well, that's the story of life. I never thought about it.
All they could do is put them in jail for the weekend if they're adults, or like for a day or whatever, you're causing whatever the fuck
Public
ruckus.
disturbance, it's
a
called.
ruckus for the public, and then confiscate the fireworks. That's all they could do. They can't charge them.
You're too mischievous. You know mischief?
I just used the word earlier. Yeah. Well, it's a way to deter them from doing it again. You know, there were some arrests last time.
I don't know. Okay, that's enough Indian
Yeah.
talk. Also, they've killed your favorite squirrel, my
Yes.
friend.
How do you feel about
Peanut, the squirrel, has been murdered. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know too much about animal activists. I'm.
No, he's not an activist. He's just a squirrel.
I don't
or
know
was.
much about that whole milieu.
So you have nothing to say on the government murdering?
A squirrel. An actual squirrel.
It's playing on the TV, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's not connected? It's not connecting. So on OBS, it's not getting any audio?
Negative. But I got it on here.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is, right? Like the whole, it's not going into the computer for
At
some
all.
reason. No. Wait, but it was before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
And even on the options, you don't have it?
No, what do you mean on the It doesn't see it here. The computer doesn't see it.
At all.
At all. Because I got to restart. Because it was working before. We were listening to stuff.
Yeah.
Weird. The computer cannot find it. Strange, huh?
interesting.
Everything's
You
connected?
know,
Yeah.
Pantelis,
Connect the computer?
Let's see if I can have an intellectual argument with you about something.
Oh,
If-
fuck.
If you're ready.
All right.
So-
I asked for this.
You
chose this
mentioned
life.
to me earlier that anybody who has a brain and knows how to process thought will come to the conclusion that Kamala Harris is bad news as the presidential candidate. That's fine. But let me please ask you, what stance do you have about the fact that Donald Trump could have gone to jail for a long time for inciting this fucking when people got killed at Capitol Hill?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill. And
I'm
you see
gonna
how
kill
you
you.
see how he didn't. Does that not
Again,
strike you
there's
as
various
odd?
schools of thought.
No,
Some
there's no
people
schools of
say
thought.
that he was involved. Some people say that he was behind it.
Yeah, well, every common sense thinking person and
Yep.
the law clearly didn't deem so.
Okay. But it just, what does that tell you? So there were a bunch of people that claimed that Trump sent them, or I don't know the whole story.
No,
but
no one claimed that Trump sent them. The left wing media claimed that Trump sent them. Trump never sent them. They never said Trump sent us.
Okay.
And also, the police let those fucking 20 people in,
Yeah, that's true. I remember
and
that.
they gave them a
fine.
nice fucking,
Like I said, it's just
a
an
nice
internal-
tour. Let's be honest.
I
if we're
think
gonna-
I think the security was even told to stand down.
Yeah. So fuck off. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna listen. I'm never claimed that I know this argument inside out. I'm just
No, I'm just
giving
not
you
playing anyone's games
Then
anymore.
why bring it up? Hold on.
Because
Why?
here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. Right now, for the first time in my lifetime, I don't know if Ron Paul's really going to join Trump, but if he does, that's amazing. You're talking about Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, who I always make fun of, RFK Jr. I saw a whole video. He's talking about why he's with Trump. Trump is appointing him to take care of the health of America. You know how canola oils, all that shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he started talking shit, bro. He's saying this is why people are obese. This was poisoning you. We got to stop this. So they're going against big pharma. They're going against the big food corporations that are poisoning everyone. So right now, America is at a crossroads. They can literally vote in and I can't believe it's Trump who's doing it. Just bringing these fucking people together who would actually make a positive difference in this country, or they're done. Another 4 years of the military-industrial complex bombing everyone around the world, they're fucking done and destroying the economy. They're done, and then by association, we're done. So it's so critical, and yet I think Kamala's probably going to win it just because
Did you see
it's
the
hard
video
to
of
fight
the,
against the system.
Did you see the video of the guy in Kentucky trying to click Trump and it was clicking Kamala?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is that real? or-
Yeah, I saw it too. It apparently was fact checked. It was real. So I don't know.
Oh, even the fact checker said it was real.
Said it was real,
Ooh.
and then the excuse was you're supposed to don't hit the box, hit the full name. But I'm still hitting the box within the full name. Why would it go to the other candidate?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Nah, there's some sus shit happening. And apparently, in what was it?
I can't believe it's Trump that's getting Ron Paul to act.
I think it's Michigan. In Michigan, there's 500,000 more registered voters than there are people that could vote,
Surprise.
which is suspicious.
Oh, you think, to say the least.
Which is very suspicious. How are there more registered voters than voters available? That's crazy. You know?
So let me ask you one more question. You know, I know you're going to tell me the truth, and that's fine. Why did Trump go on a tangent and say the Democrats stole my, they rigged my election?
Because they did.
We literally just told you so
did.
much about rigged shit. And
that's
do you
part of
listen
it.
when people say? I feel like you don't listen when people speak.
did. I remember-
You had something to say, and then you kept it in, not listening to what everyone said.
You were
Hold on,
talking
I
about
remember-
Iran and you
I
were
remember-
talking about elections.
Yeah, we were talking. We
literally just talked about a voting
I
booth.
can't believe it,
voting
bro.
for the wrong
He's
person.
so lost.
But okay, and
in
I'm,
2020,
okay,
in 2020, when they were counting the mail-in ballots, they were literally shutting down the windows so people can't see.
Yeah, I
what they're
remember that.
doing.
Yeah, and they were getting as soon as they remember they closed. They're like, oh, we just received when they had Trump ahead in the polls. They go, oh, we just received this truck that we didn't realize.
Yeah.
and it has all these mail-in votes from.
And then
it was very
overnight-
suspicious. He was right
overnight-
to question. Now I don't know if it was really. It seemed super questionable. But the thing is, I guarantee you, every election, always someone fucks around.
Yeah.
They
they
didn't get caught.
This is
And
a
they
deep
made it
question.
really obvious
Okay,
this time.
and this
They
is
made
a
it really
deep
obvious, they still
question.
didn't get
This is
caught.
a pretty deep question. Do the Republicans or the Democrats run the elections? Or who has more?
Well, it depends who's in power. But the Democrats have, so they both have fanatics. It's just that for some reason, all these psychopaths are working the polls. Like, I don't know why the Republicans don't put other people, like, it should be 50-50, the polls, right? It shouldn't be one party running a fucking poll booth. But look, I guarantee you that if you look back, the Republicans have also cheated.
100%.
I'll tell
So
you what.
it's just, look, Trump was stupid last election. He thought it was going to be fair, and they fucked him, and then he tried to prove. What are you going to prove, bro, after the fact?
So
No one gives a fuck.
I want to hear a yes, no, or maybe answer. Is my claim appropriate to say that people like to point the finger? One guy's pointing the finger at the other guy's pointing the finger at
Yeah,
the
that's not a
first?
claim. That's exactly what
Okay.
happens.
All right.
Trump, they're calling him a fascist. Kamala Harris, a hooker. Like, there's a name.
Well, I mean, she kind of was.
She was never a hooker. She was just like a, what's it called, like a side piece.
She was
She wasn't
hooker
a-
adjacent.
She wasn't hooker adjacent either. She
Not
wasn't
even,
paid.
huh?
We don't know that she was paid for sex. She was just like in the company of some stars. It doesn't make you a hooker.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was a weird role for perhaps the future president to have. I agree, but it wasn't. She wasn't a hooker.
But she was
just
definitely
like Trump.
dressed
Trump's
like
not
one.
fascist. All right, Trump makes fun of everyone. Like,
Yeah.
fucking goblin, but it doesn't make him like they use these terms: Nazis, Hitler.
Yeah.
They're not.
It's completely
both sides
insane.
over exaggerate against the other one.
But I feel like
They killed a squirrel, though. Is what we're trying to tell you. Is they
yeah,
murdered a
we're gonna get back to that in a second. But I feel like politics, especially now that you can literally gamble
on them.
Oh,
it's a circus.
it's just turned into a show,
Yeah.
a reality TV show at this point. There's no more seriousness. There's no more. Anyways,
It's nuts, boy.
but the squirrel that they killed, that's insane. So apparently, this man, what was his name?
Peanut. He's not a man. He's a squirrel.
No, the man that had him as a
Oh, I
pet.
forgot his name. I don't know.
And
7 years they had him. He was famous.
7 years. 7 years. The squirrel was happy. You see videos of him playing. Now I didn't know.
Also, Fred Fred the raccoon was also murdered.
Yeah. So the New York State government, from what I understand,
Yeah.
decided to just barge into their house.
So now they can't hear because the issues we're having Poseidon.
I can
But-
hear.
No, they can't. So,
Okay.
but essentially,
I saw this. Yeah.
yeah. So this is what I sent you. So essentially, this is the line. They got a search warrant.
That's crazy.
Bro, 4 government agencies. Yeah. And a judge signed off on this, bro. And 17 cops show up to kill a squirrel and a raccoon.
That's crazy. To me.
Yeah.
Did they give a reason?
Yeah, I was just what law were they breaking?
I'm still wondering that. They go, because it's you're not allowed to have a squirrel as a pet or a raccoon, but why murder? Like, it's calm, it's on TV, it hasn't bothered anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
Take them to animal
to
control
go,
in the
not
worst
why
case.
take them to animal control? You're already controlling the animal. They're fine. They don't have
Exactly.
disease. They're being taken care of. Like, they put, dude, the Epstein list, they don't give a shit about.
And
There's rapists running around right now. Hollywood rapists.
Yeah.
Right now, no one cares. These guys, 4 departments got together to kill a squirrel.
and from what I understand correctly, he owns a sanctuary.
Yeah, he has horses. He's just helping injured animals. Like, these are good people doing good work, but the system, that's why I'm telling you, Adam, the system, these bootlickers, they don't care about you. If they're willing, Adam, to barge into a house with 17 cops, 4 departments signed off on this to kill a fucking squirrel, what do you think they would do to you?
I don't want to think about
Exactly.
Man, if I was a cop on that day and I was asked to do this, I think that's the day I would have resigned.
it. I was just about to
Yeah.
say the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the day I would have been like, excuse me, what? I would have been like, nah.
You
I'm
realize
not.
the city is overcome with like crime and rape, and
Yeah.
you want me to spend time killing a
Dude,
raccoon?
we've seen videos in New York City, bro. People running people over and not batting an eye.
Yeah, you remember that Crush a Skull?
And a squirrel is the problem. A squirrel is the fucking problem.
Pantelis, I have something intellectual to ask you.
Oh boy.
He did
I
not give a
believe-
fuck
yes,
about
I
the
did.
conversation.
It's okay. He
sad,
doesn't
it's
like
sad,
animals.
it's
It's fine.
sad. I
No, it's
agree,
fine.
it's
Some people don't
sad.
have empathy for animals. It's fine. Go on.
It had been a cat, I would have been very upset. Believe me. I mean, I guess it depends on the kind of animal.
That's very specific. But go on.
I've heard people say, "Oh my goodness!" At the international level, Canada has lost a lot of respect, right, because of our friend Trudeau. Now, here's an interesting question: would you? I mean, okay, it's not your decision; it's the public's decision. But would you prefer to see him stay, or would you like to see another prime minister from?
Are you
another
fucking?
party?
What a okay. Poseidon, please move on to another subject. I'm getting pissed off. Would I like anybody who could think?
Would
Of
you
course, you want to leave.
prefer-
You opened that sentence with the country's destroyed.
Yeah.
Do you want to see
But
the
whose
person
fault is it?
destroying?
Is it just Trudeau? Okay, I should have said it differently. Is it because of Trudeau? Is it
course
because of the
because
party
Trudeau.
itself? There could be other people.
He's in
It could
charge
be
of the
this-
party, dude. It's because of him and fucking his butt buddy Jack Meatsin.
But buddy.
Would you prefer the Liberals if they had a different leader? Some people are.
No, I want them out. I want them far away.
Okay, my father used to love the Liberals.
I want the Bloc
I'm
Québécois to win,
biased.
bro.
I'm biased. What could I say? Anyways, okay.
I'm biased, but do you see that mentality? So the country's on fire. So my dad used to vote for them.
I could.
The country's on fire.
I should have.
You
then
have
said-
no money. Before
and-
the podcast started, you literally said, I got bills. It's like everyone else. It's fucking tight. And you still vote against your best interest. We're retarded. We're literally retarded. We are the most retarded generation.
What would you want to
hold
run the
on.
country?
You, first of all, you're insulting all retards out there. It's beyond retarded.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm retarded, and now it's insulting to me, and even I know the difference.
Yeah,
you understand?
that's true. Yeah.
So don't insult me like that. Eh? This is beyond retarded.
Yeah. So who would you vote for? The only one party that right now their platform includes cutting fucking government spending and cutting taxes so you can have more take home money.
Yeah.
Here, Polyev.
He's the only one saying that. All the other ones are talking about wasting more of our money. So I'm gonna go for the guy
I can
that
discern that you want Polyev.
Yeah, I want the guy who wants less of their hands in my fucking pocket.
Now the problem is, even if he does cut taxes, we still have provincial taxes, and from what I understand here in Quebec, if you've ever worked a job, you get rammed up the ass by
Yeah.
the provincial government as well.
Yeah, that's why it would help if one of them is like reduced.
Yeah. But even if they reduce by 5%, let's say, that's barely going to help out Quebec's.
I know, but
Quebecers?
we need a government here that's not socialist. Also, anyways,
No.
it's a clusterfuck. We've been bamboozled for the last couple of years.
But isn't the CAC not socialist?
No, bro, the CAC is fucking weird as shit, bro. They're a conglomerate of everything. Because if they're not, they wouldn't be spending this much if they weren't socialist.
What are your thoughts on the provincial Liberals?
They're nothing.
Oh yeah.
They're
Then we
stupid.
don't have the ideal party. That's
We don't have. There's no. What you think the conservatives are the ideal party? There's no ideal party. The country's gone to shit.
If this persists, I think people will really, like, we're going to start seeing, like, some crazy shit happening. People standing up, doing...
No, it's never gonna happen. There's people
don't
right
think so?
no, dude. There's people right now who are complaining that they don't have money.
Exhibit
that
A.
taxes are too high. Listen, taxes are too high. The rent is too high, and then they go fuck the conservatives. Why do they want to put rent down? Why do they want to give us more money in taxes? Why do they want to do this and that? I'm voting for Trudeau because he's pretty. Like, people are living in this cognitive dissonance. They're fucking retarded, bro. They're retarded.
You know what's crazy? They're complaining, oh, rent is too high. And then what they'll do is they'll attack the landlords.
Yeah.
But the landlords didn't
Increase the cost of anything the government did.
Exactly. So why are they attacking the landlords when the
Because
other
they're low IQ.
when the other guy literally, the conservatives, literally promising to lower rent?
It's the equivalent of you run over my foot on purpose, and I start punching your tire and getting mad at the tire.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're 100% right.
And then I ask you, can you please drive again over my foot? And then I start punching the tire again. Why are you hurting me?
Yeah.
Like, that's what's
Ban
happening.
all tires.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just punch the tire. It's the tire's fault. And you're just sitting there laughing like, wait, this is going to let me run him over again?
So let me
Yeah.
tell you what I have a dilemma with, which doesn't make sense to me. The Liberals didn't just get elected; they've been here 10 years.
Exactly.
Did it get worse later on? During
No,
the-
it's been getting worse from year 2. It got worse early on. It got worse when they started saying things like the budget will balance itself. It basically when they, there's Reaganomics.
Yeah.
When they did Atom economics, Atomonomics, that's when it went. That's when it went down. They literally, Trudeau used the same strategy he did with his dad.
Imagine, yeah. imagine somebody comes and grabs a boiling hot pot of coffee and just spills it all over you. You get burned.
And you blame
then,
the coffee.
And then you blame coffee pot makers.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening now. Yeah.
The coffee pot makers are gonna be like manufacturer.
And he still
What the fuck did I
invites
do?
you. He still invites Poseidon over, the guy who keeps spilling coffee on
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
You're like, oh, Poseidon, what are we gonna do about this coffee on me, right? This fucking coffee?
I thought
Yeah,
of
those
a,
coffee pot makers. We got to get rid of them.
I thought of a crazy notion over the weekend. Just tell me what your thoughts
He
are.
didn't give a fuck. Everything
I
went through his
heard
head.
you. It's
Let's move
funny,
on.
but I have a thought.
You heard, but you didn't
Imagine
listen.
if
I'm
only
getting angry
thinking-
talking politics, so anyway.
Only
Sorry.
thinking people should be allowed to vote. You have a brain, you have knowledge, then we let
Yeah,
you
it's
vote.
never gonna happen because idiots complain too much.
Yeah. That was my thought. That's all.
And if all the thinking people would vote, they would just fight each other in the end anyway. So now all they're trying to do is manipulate retards, and they're winning. They're fucking people are dumb as shit, dude.
Anyway, speaking of the government, actually, today's list.
Ooh. Today's top 5.5 ways to get in trouble with your local government.
Speaking of which,
Number 5, start a terrorist organization. Yep, that'll do it.
I have nothing to say on that one.
we just saw it on the video.
What?
Well, terrorist organization. How do you define terrorist?
How do you define, dude? You talking about an animal
No, the
sanctuary?
Indians in Toronto. That Palestine, whatever it was called.
I guess.
I don't think they're a terrorist
Maybe they are. I don't know anything about Palestine. It could be. Number 4. Have a pet squirrel or a raccoon.
That'll piss them off.
Oh, that'll piss off every member of the government.
Yeah.
Provincial, federal.
Did you see the lady that put it through?
Yeah, her name is Karen.
No.
Yeah. Captain Karen, yeah.
Wow.
Bitch. R.I.P. to Fred the raccoon and Peanut the squirrel. In your honor, this episode exists.
And they're so adorable too.
I have a good question. How long did all this shit take for the court orders and all that?
Number 3, drive a car with a big engine.
Yeah, that'll piss off your local government.
Yeah. You know what else pissed off the local government? Any engine.
Yeah.
Number 2, be Christian. Oh yeah, nowadays you can't even say. I saw Kamala Harris getting mad and she was
Yeah.
screaming, "This isn't Christian. We're not gonna say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Keep your Merry Christmas." Like fuck you.
Saying Merry Christmas. Not anymore. I think that's
Why?
what she
Merry
said.
Christmas is amazing.
Yeah. Christmas is
I'm
awesome.
glad we don't live in the States, eh? I think that's pretty much.
I'm gonna fucking kill
Number
her.
1, wear a MAGA hat. Yeah, that'll piss off any government that's not right-wing Republican. And the half. Be a straight male or female. That'll piss him off.
Did you notice how I didn't put and or female?
One or the other.
So yeah.
Thanks
just
for
a
that
little-
list. Besides, it was a quick list.
Yeah.
At least you got it out. You got it out of your system. So, Adam, the people are always asking, what has Adam been up to this week?
Oh, yeah.
Eek.
No change. Same 2 jobs.
Anything in particular happened that's memorable to you? I don't know. You met a stranger. You.
Yes, listen to this story.
Oh, boy.
Last
How'd
night,
you know?
I'm sure you know, I forgot what the name of the street is. 1 street east of Saint Laurent on St. Catherine. I'm sure you know where that is,
Saint
obviously.
Denis?
Before that, Hotel de Ville, it might be called. I don't know.
Whatever, it doesn't matter,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah. So I'm walking and I see a small fire, like a car near the, not a big fire, like literally, maybe like, not big, right?
A tiny fire.
And I see a whole crowd of people. Yes, thank you. Just standing there. And I said, should I call the fire department? I went inside the bar and filled a glass with water and tried to do something about it, but it had already gotten too big. And luckily the fire department. What is in people's minds? They're just standing there looking. We're going to look at this fire.
Can I
This
ask you a
doesn't make
question?
sense what people's mentality
What if
is.
they started it?
So, hold on. You're telling me that you went in and, like, it's getting cold out. You took a homeless guy's source of heat. He had one source of heat, and you went and destroyed their lives.
No, I went inside there was a bar that I frequent.
yeah.
And I took 3 glasses. Well, I started with 1. It was just small. Then, oh shit, it's getting bigger. So
Your
I tried
buddies
to
at the bar
douse
that
it.
you frequent, the
Yes.
men at the bar that you frequent, how are they? Are they nice to you?
Yeah.
How long have you been frequenting them?
Oh boy. Wouldn't it make more sense to say the fellows there? Not the,
How long have you been
I
frequenting
don't know,
these
3
fellows?
years, 4 years, that particular place, 3-4 years.
Okay,
Why?
do you frequent multiple fellows at once or one at a time?
I want to replace the word fellows with I frequent the bar, so I see whoever's there.
Okay.
It's not in
So the
liaison
fellows at the bar.
conjunction with
So
a
the
particular
fellows at the
person.
bar, how often do you frequent them? And when you frequent them, is it one at a time or multiples?
Oh, so let me correct you by saying I'm not there to look after a person. I'm there to go and
We never said
Right.
that.
We never said that. But when you go to the bar, you frequent the bar.
So that I can watch
you
a hockey
mingle,
game.
yeah, and then you mingle with the fellows, right? What
Oh,
I'm
I
asking
see
is-
what you're saying. What's my schedule of mingling? I don't
No,
have
no, no,
one.
no, no. I'm not scheduled mingling. What we're saying is when you mingle,
Yep.
when you mingle, when you fondle, whatever you want to call it, when you mingle with these fellows, do you mingle one at a time or multiple at a time? Like, do you have a big group,
I
or
never
is just you and
thought
one
about
guy?
it. It's whatever happens.
Oh, you
There's
just
no
open
rule.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in the air, open. Okay, it's open for business. I get it.
So I thought you might, in the interest of, they say the two wrongs don't make a right. I shouldn't have ignored what Poseidon said. What are your thoughts on that? A crowd of people, like 7 or 8 people, are just watching this fire. Does that make any sense? You're going to try and, it was small.
Just tell you, there's a
I was
crowd
the
of
only hero
there's a
that-
crowd of almost 40 million people watching a dumpster fire called Canada right now. So it happens.
Anyway. What the guy said is, so what, you're going to douse a fire with a little glass of water?
By the way, you're not supposed to throw water on fire, I heard.
No, you're not
supposed to
blow air on it. Water is the only thing that works.
Oh, but even water, like if you have a frying pan fire.
That's a different type of fire.
Ah, okay.
They're just going to spread it. The oil, the grease, yeah.
Oh, because it mixes and it goes
Yeah, if
all
you have
over
a
the
frying pan fire, you're supposed to just use your hand.
But the
Smack
good
it.
news is it was
Okay.
literally 30 seconds to 1 minute after that the fire department came. So,
So they're quick, is what you're saying.
yeah.
It's
Well,
almost like maybe
it's
they
also right
deliberately
there.
started the fire.
Pardon?
yeah.
It's also what?
Maybe they deliberately started the fire so they could be useful.
Also, from where the place you're talking about, the fire department is right there too.
Literally next door.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I guess I will concede that, yes, some people might be looking at it as a safety issue. If you get too close, you could hurt, I don't know.
Some people, well, everyone's looking at it as a safety issue. If you get too close, you can get burnt. No one wants to get burnt.
Okay, do the math. That fire was maybe a few inches, 3-4 inches.
So why didn't
okay?
you go step on it?
That's not my place.
What do you mean it's not your place?
I
you went
took
to
a
go.
glass and
Yeah,
tried to
exactly.
put
So
it
okay,
out.
so if it's not your place, why'd you do a half-ass job? Either if
Because
it's not
I
your
see
hold
that
on,
these
hold on.
idiots- I'm gonna
If it's
answer your
not,
question.
no, you're not answering the question because you just answered wrong. If it's not your place, you do nothing. If
Does
you're
the word
gonna,
Good
if you're gonna
Samaritan
go,
mean anything
but
to
if
you?
you're a good Samaritan, why don't you go actually do something? But just put it out with your foot since it's so small. Why did you waste time and make
That's
it get
dangerous.
bitter? Ah,
So you're afraid.
The opposite of what you just said. Yeah.
Interesting. I remember one time I was at a certain place and a certain booth caught on fire in a parking. It was in a parking garage,
Okay. We don't know how that happened.
and it was a open air parking garage.
Oh boy.
But so there was wind coming through also, so it just doused the flame even more. And it was an electrical fire, and the whole parking garage became black with smog and
Smoke.
like smoke. And you're trying to fucking drive around and shit. And then I go to the source of the fire. I see, bro, same thing like he described. People just, but it was a huge fire. The whole booth
Staring.
had caught on fire. Just staring, filming, recording. And then the manager of said location was just taking a bucket of water from the bathroom, just going. But the water was falling, but the fire was so big, it wasn't doing nothing. So I started yelling at people. What the fuck are you all doing?
Poseidon was a hero at that moment. I remember
I
this.
fucking went. I broke open the fire hydrant thing. There was a fire hydrant literally like 10 meters away.
Yeah.
Broke it open, yanked it open, and the manager goes, "What do you want me to do with that?" I threw it at him. I go, "Fuck, I use it." And then he put out the fire.
You didn't start the fire.
Allegedly.
No, I know you didn't start the fire. I remember
of
when
course
this
not.
happened, but you were the hero. They all viewed you as a hero.
Yeah.
Well, but now you're the villain. It's crazy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So that's how you put out a fire.
That's how you put out a fire, Adam.
There was no fire hydrant in the area. Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you if you're going to willing to answer yes or no. Sometimes when you're in a situation where you just all of a sudden you have the situation, you don't necessarily have time to think. I grabbed a glass of water, I could have gotten a pen, but you know what I mean? Just fast. There's a fire, it's small. Take it out as fast as you can. But anyway, you don't always think. It's not always.
Anything fun happened to you? Any fun activities? Do you have any, I have a question for you. Apart from gambling, okay, and apart from going to these sports bars and gambling while watching the sports, do you have any other extracurricular, like do you like go-karting? Do you like paintball?
told
Yeah,
you
because
I play
people do
pool.
make fun of you about that. It's always about gambling.
Yeah,
What
do
else
you like-
do you do,
I
bro?
play
like
pool.
video-
I play pool.
For money?
No. Hello. I don't know why Poseidon just did that.
It's just because it's a bar activity. Like he's saying is, do you have a
No,
life
for
outside
pleasure.
of casino?
For
But
pleasure.
outside of bars and casinos.
Like he's saying, do you like to go to the museum? Do you like
Yeah.
to seduce little dudes or whatever.
Do you like looking at art? Is
Yeah.
there anything else other than being a degenerate interest?
Do
It's
you like
interesting.
hotties with bodies?
There was a fan who posted. He said Adam is only comfortable talking about gambling. That's not true. Did I
That's
not
literally all you talk about.
Did I not come forward and embarrass myself by taking $1,000 that was supposed to be for my
I'm
father's
gonna
employee?
kill him. I'm gonna
And
kill him.
Stories, right?
Yeah,
There's something outside the
hold
world
on.
of gambling that I
know, but what they're
introduced.
trying to say is it's not just gambling. They're saying that all your life revolves around theft, whether it's theft of your father's money or fellation a woman, gambling, booze, bars, hitchhiking,
Pretending to be a cab driver to pick up men at 2:30 in the morning.
A lot of homoerotic, questionable stories.
Yes.
So they say that your whole world is like 5 things. Literally, if you sum it down, it's crime, gambling, casino, which falls into gambling again, stealing, which again is a crime. It's like 2 things they talk about, and
sexually ambiguous stories.
very sexually ambiguous stories. Like you have the most sexually ambiguous stories I've ever heard in my life.
Like
So
you have such sexual. Even if I tried to make sexually ambiguous stories really believable, like they wouldn't be as believable as you make them.
yeah,
As the ones you've said.
So fine, let me tell you a story that may be classified as normal and appealing to people's interests. I've done a lot of traveling. Does that,
it's a good story. That's
I wasn't sure if you wanted me to tell you more, but
Yeah, it's
have
a
I
great
ever talked
story.
about
No, tell us a story about how you traveled and it
was.
wasn't sexually ambiguous. Because every story that revolves around you traveling.
you sucking a dude's dick. Yeah, and most of the time you didn't need to do it.
Exactly. It's very sexually
Well, I've
ambiguous.
seen my share of the states. Speaking of which, I've seen the whole eastern seaboard. Been to California. I've been to Texas.
And what did you see? What did you like about these places?
How
other
did
than
it taste?
You got me on that one. I mean, I don't go to a place because I wonder what kind of food they have. I go to a place because I'm a tourist. I'm a
Okay,
traveler.
listen, Adam. You, for the record, people who forgot, you once forced your way to get a good deal on a ticket. That it was a deal that you could not pass up, and it was a flight from Toronto to Montreal. But the thing is, you already lived in Montreal, so in order to take advantage of this ticket, you drove hitchhiked with dudes.
the first drove right out of gas?
To Toronto.
Different story.
To then take a plane back to where you originally were. So I will give you something. A good deal on an airplane is amazing. I'm with you. I always want a good plane. But normally you want a good deal to go somewhere else.
It has to be in conjunction with the good reason to go to a place where you're getting the ticket from.
Yeah, but the
Yes.
place that the ticket was going to was the place you were already at.
Yeah. And I guess it tells you that I didn't think much about it if I can't remember what I did in Toronto, right?
But you didn't even... The
That's
flight was
convenient.
from Toronto. It doesn't make any sense.
So you remember everything you've ever done except for... So what did you do in Toronto when you got there? That's a question we didn't ask.
Okay. I know exactly the words that are going to come out of your mouth. How convenient you didn't tell me this key piece of information that changes the whole story. I was going to the Czech Republic. And
No,
I wanted
don't
to
make
fly
stories.
to Toronto. This was a different time.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about the specific
No, we're talking
time.
about...
Okay.
We're talking about the time you won a free ticket from Toronto.
Please believe me, okay? The airline was called Canada 3000. They're no longer in existence, okay? I had bought a ticket from Toronto to Montreal, okay?
No, okay, look, stop talking.
no.
We know this. You're
The only reason I
failing
went
to
to Toronto
understand...
was to get on the plane.
I know, but the plane was taking you right back here, is what we're saying. Is you don't see the stupidity of what you did.
You're going to definitely laugh.
I don't
as long
wanna-
as I tell you the truth, okay? I shouldn't be in
yeah.
trouble. I had booked a ticket to, I think it was Manchester, UK. And I had wanted to change my ticket, and I had a Toronto-Montreal ticket, and I wanted to change it. And it was, for some reason, it was cheaper out of Toronto.
Again, we're
It's
talking about the time.
weird.
No, we're talking about
You're
the time
already
you won
in Montreal, and
There
then
were
you
2
drove.
times I went to Toronto. if
I
you
know,
wanna
but the
bring it
time
up.
that you were in Montreal,
Yeah.
and you drove to Toronto to hop on a plane last minute, if you remember correctly, the guy had to bring you last minute. You almost didn't even make the plane to fly back to Montreal. Do you see how retarded that is? I just need to know.
So I omitted something, and I didn't. Okay, I agree. I hate
All I
to
wanna
say
know
it,
is,
but
do
I
you
agree
know how
that when
stupid that
when
is?
you don't volunteer information, it changes the whole story. I had gone there because I was going to Czech Republic. Okay, via England.
2 different stories. I'm talking about
Yes.
the time in Toronto where I remember the England story. I'm talking about the time in
Because
Toronto.
you're confusing him.
Both stories were centered on me
Quiet.
going to Toronto just to get to the
Quiet.
airport.
I know,
Quiet.
but one of them
Yes.
got you to Toronto just so you could fly right back to Montreal.
Well, I omitted the part where I didn't fly back to Montreal. Okay, so I
No,
didn't.
no,
I
I'm
didn't
talking about
say
the one that I remember you told us that you drove there and then flew back to Montreal.
The ticket that you won for free, jackass, from the radio show. You won a free ticket of a flight from Toronto to
No,
Montreal.
I just bought a cheap ticket.
Oh, yeah, you bought a cheap ticket. You didn't win.
Yeah.
No, you
So-
you said you had won.
He misspoke. It's
Okay.
fine.
Yes. In any case, as
So wait, hold on. This makes it even weirder. This makes it even weirder.
You spent your own money to fly back to a place you're already at, and then you missed the plane and didn't even get to use the. This is.
I used it to change it to go to UK.
No. There's two different instances. Stop omitting the one that you went to Toronto. The one that you did not go to the UK is the one I'm talking about.
Okay. One was via Washington, and one was straight to Europe. Okay. One was Air Canada, the other was Canada 3000, okay? I know one was 2001 the year and the other was 2003. They both entailed me going to Toronto just to get to the airport. No other reason, okay? So if we're focusing on that Canada 3000, it was 2 years earlier. That's what I was doing. It sounds bizarre, but that's what I was doing. So when you're asking me why did I go to Toronto, I guess you could say I fessed up just now, okay? I didn't want to.
All right, bro, this is crazy.
I have a fun fact about chimpanzees and monkeys. I watched, this was like a fun fact thing that I was watching. So scientists and zookeepers have been communicating with apes, basically, via sign language.
I am doing it via very vocal language.
since the 1960s. And not once have the apes decided to ask a question to the humans. They just respond.
Yeah. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't
They're
give
like, bro, I don't give a fuck what you do, bro.
Fuck you, bro.
Give me a banana. Let me fuck that hot monkey.
I don't care to ask you anything.
They don't want to. I don't want to take no flights to Toronto and back and this that. They just want to.
I will say something, Poseidon. I have been. Remember, we had a whole podcast and we were telling people during the pandemic not to commit suicide.
Yes.
I have been thinking about this. I understand why people commit suicide. I'm not saying it's right. Don't do it.
Explain.
Listen to me. Don't do it. I get the feeling. Like I started thinking about it and I go, you know when you feel like there's just too much on your shoulders and everything's there and you could just end it?
Yeah.
It seems so easy
Yes.
to just snap lights out. You don't worry about anything. No bills.
Yeah, it's because if you have
No bills, no bitches.
if you have so many problems that if they're just overencumbering, it seems like an easy solution.
Easy
to just be
solution.
like, hold on, wait, I can't do it, but I could do this.
Yeah, I could just do this. But the only shitty thing is there's no coming back. So
Exactly.
it's permanent. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep telling people, don't fucking do it. You're going to find your way out of it. However, I do understand you guys.
I
And
was
don't
going to say,
understand you guys.
get the help you need, you know?
Shut the fuck up, Adam.
I have a theory
The
about
government's going
this.
to kill you.
Because I've thought about this because I don't remember hearing about suicide as much like in the ancient world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, keep going.
Or like even more than 100 years ago. I have a theory.
Stella Padellini.
Oh, who's this? I think that's your boy calling.
Who?
That's the car guy. He just called me. Like I'm in the podcast.
No, that's not his voice.
Yeah, it's his voice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anyways. So what was I saying now? Oh, I have a theory about this.
The animals.
No. I have a theory about
suicide.
why suicide has become such a talked about thing. Even though if you look at, history, it was never really a thing. You know what I mean? Like when we look back, like there were other dangers, but suicide was not one of them. I think it's because the Western world, the modern Western world, never became comfortable with death. So look at Mexico, how they're so comfortable with death. They even worship death.
I don't think they worship it. They just celebrate it.
No, they celebrate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't
sorry,
worship.
they don't worship it. Sorry, I used the wrong word. I think because they become so comfortable with death, they see it as like a thing to be celebrated and this, that they don't think they also celebrate life. You know what I mean? It's like an opposite thing. You know what I mean? Because they understand it so
You're
well.
losing us. You're just saying a lot of words and
I
you're not
know,
going anywhere,
I
bro.
just don't know how to explain this. How do
So then don't try. Adam, how do you feel about suicide?
It's very sad. Okay, maybe if you're suffering because of a disease.
All right, Adam, shut the fuck up. You're going to get one of our listeners killed. No, it's not okay.
I have a second cousin who committed suicide very sadly. No joke.
Oh, shit.
He had cancer of the, I think bone cancer. He had cancer somewhere in his
He had
neck.
cancer of the cousin.
Cancer of the neck. No, I'm not joking. And I asked him recently. It was in the year 2001 that he committed suicide. I mean, I know.
You asked him recently why he
I
committed
asked
suicide in
his
2001.
son. I asked
Okay.
my cousin's son. So,
Oh, that's terrible, dude.
yeah,
I blame
yeah.
9/11.
Yeah, how did he do it?
If my memory serves me correctly, I think he just.
Hung himself?
Thank you. Yes.
Jesus
he built the
Christ.
noose, and that's it.
Fuck, there's
Damn.
better ways of doing it, right?
Yeah. How would you commit suicide? If let's say you're
Either pills that knock me the fuck out and then kill me so that I don't feel any pain, or shoot myself in the head.
yeah, I agree.
Quickest way. If you're gonna go,
Yeah.
that. Or fuck, I'm taking everyone out with me. Strap bombs myself, bro. go inside like the Tanzanian embassy.
Or an elementary school.
No, it would probably have to be. It would probably have to be like the quickest way possible.
Yeah. How would you do it?
Yeah, it's your boy.
Oh.
That's ballsy.
Yeah.
That's a little forward.
What happened?
It's okay. I'll tell you.
Okay.
You know, I'll tell you what. I believe it makes sense to take advice from someone who has a sound mind, like yourself, Pantelis. When someone
You didn't
asks-
answer the question, by the way. How would you do it if you were to?
It doesn't make me comfortable thinking about it, so that's why I don't want to volunteer an answer.
You see what I mean?
No, I don't mind that because it is an uncomfortable subject. I'm with you on
get
this
it.
one. Adam, I get it. It's very touchy. It's very feely. Do you like touching and feeling?
Yes.
All right, just making sure. I like that you've become more open with your sexuality with us. You become more.
Yeah.
You're becoming more of an adult. Now, did you get to use the device that we gave you?
Oh!
That's the news. That's what everyone's
I
been
read
waiting
it.
for.
I was looking at it, but I didn't know. I need some kind of a manual.
Oh fuck! Is it
You
complicated?
know it comes with a manual.
Well, I didn't see it. I saw a one-page manual of like where to plug it in, but not.
I mean, dude, there's buttons, and then there's a hole where you would.
Okay.
Put your dick
Can we
inside.
please not talk about this on the air?
Yeah, all right. I'm
please?
just saying.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
He used it.
It's not. No, he tried to use it.
He
It didn't
used
wo-
it. He used it.
Of course he
Look
used
at it. Yeah, he used it. Yeah, he used it. Look
Okay,
at his face.
just give us whether you like it or not. Give us a thumbs up
Do
or a
this
thumbs
or
down.
this.
That's it.
I can't because I didn't use it.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
How long did you spend trying to use it?
Okay. I stopped when I saw like, what the hell am I doing? It's what do I do? It's called an
did
operating
this.
manual.
He did this. He used it.
He used it, but it
No.
wasn't working.
Look,
It wasn't
Adam,
on.
Adam, just do this or this.
Neither. This. Neither.
He didn't get to. So he put over his cock, but it wasn't vibrating, so there's no point. He didn't know how to use it.
So
Is it
you-
that complicated?
No, it's not, bro. You press the. I showed you when I handed it to you. You press this button to turn it on.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm a bit of a dummy when it comes.
Was
to
it because there was no lubrication?
Wait, there's only one button, no?
Can we please not talk about this on the air?
Okay.
He
Tell you
did
off the
use
air.
it. He did use it.
He tried. He just told you. He tried to use it.
Okay, we'll talk about it off air.
He gave it a good go, but it was too much.
So I'm asking Pantelis, a thinking person, if someone
God.
asks you, what do you do in your spare time, so you don't look like a guy who's centered around gambling, what answers do you give?
I mostly gamble.
That's a very
Have
good
you ever-
deceptive answer.
Have you ever read a book?
It's been a while, but yeah,
No, I mean like let's say a fantasy book.
it's been a while.
Or like what kind of book did you enjoy reading as a kid?
Perry. Oh, I remember the author's name, Perry Mason.
Perry Mason. What was the book about?
It was about a guy. It had to do with a murder. I remember a guy was consulting a lawyer
How old were you?
in my late 20s.
Okay, so this was a book for school.
No.
Oh, you read it on your own.
On my own, yeah.
Okay, that's the last time?
I read a book. Actually, I read a book, a very interesting book on how there was a reason why there was a strike in the NHL because the players' union has so much. The big war they had between the players' union and the NHL, and I'm serious.
Yes, I know you're serious. We all know it's serious, Adam. You're
Oh,
a lunatic.
fuck me, bro.
I even remember the name. Bruce Delvigan is the author. There's a second book I started
Bro,
reading.
the stuff
but I
that
didn't-
he remembers and the stuff that he omits cleverly.
Have you ever played video games?
Yes, I have.
What kind of video games?
Nintendo.
Okay, Nintendo what? 64?
No, just the regular
It was
Nintendo.
the eight- I was eight or 10 years old. The
Yeah.
regular one, yeah.
It was back in the 80s, but it was the
Okay.
regular Nintendo.
And what did you play?
Mostly Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, did you enjoy Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
Did you ever think of taking it on as a hobby to continue playing video games even as an adult?
I'm going to answer that by saying that when you become an adult, you don't have time for those things anymore.
Yeah, especially you, who's got a very busy schedule of scamming women. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I really need to know, Poseidon, the machine that you gave him, it only has one button on it.
As 4 buttons, but there's one button to turn it on, and it's a power button. Like it can't
and
get
the other
any more.
buttons just change the speeds.
It speeds and what it does.
How do you fuck that up?
One
if
of
you
them,
played
one
video
of them
games?
is a suction motion where it tightens and loosens.
then-
The other one is like up and down.
So how do you fuck that up?
And the other one is more like vibration.
How do you fuck that up, Adam? It's one button, turn it on. Wait, you have to hold it, I bet. I bet.
Yeah, but it doesn't take.
We
bro,
just
a
agreed
monkey
we were
could
gonna
figure
talk
this
about
out,
this
bro.
on the air. Come
Okay,
on.
I'm just saying, Adam, the embarrassing thing isn't that you have a very expensive toy that everyone wants. The embarrassing thing is that you can't use it and a monkey could use it. That's the embarrassing thing.
Well, they're both embarrassing in my opinion.
No, it's fine. It's perfectly healthy. You're being an adult. It's fine for you to do that stuff. You should do that
Were
stuff.
you,
It's
were
good
you
for your
ever
health.
shamed as a child if you ever touched your penis? Did your parents ever say like, no, you're not allowed to masturbate?
Were you ashamed
I'm
if
going
you
to give
touched
you
someone
a
else's
very
penis?
interesting answer and some supporting information about that. It wasn't stuff that was talked about.
It was taboo,
Interesting.
which is normal. I've never talked about my penis to my mother either.
Now I have a follow-up question. Did anyone ever
Have you been inappropriately touched as a child?
No.
like you don't remember ever?
I'll tell you a story about my father, actually. And all these people who think Adam must have done some mischievous acts, yes or no? I remember when he slapped me across the head and it hurt. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
With
Was
his
it penis
penis?
related?
You can have whatever opinion you want. So it was my car, and I remember the car very nearly caught on flames on it. I had to call a tow truck, and my father said,
I'm
"You
gonna
did
kill
what?
him. I'm gonna kill him.
What?
Wait, what's that have to do with you getting molested?
It was my father's way of telling me, you called a tow truck. I'm serious. He fucking went like, I got it back into the head.
You got cock slapped in the head because you called a tow truck because your car was
But
on
this-
fire. This is the
but
most
hold
elaborate
on.
molestation story I've ever heard in my
This
life.
makes me
didn't
think he
tell
got molested.
him.
Yeah.
He was wondering, well, where's your car? What's going on?
But what
And
does
I'm
that have to do with the question I asked you?
like, okay, in terms of how I was treated by my parents,
They didn't sexually assault you. If they slapped you in the head because of that, that's not sexual assault.
I was just talking about how how my father gauged the way I behaved. Okay, it only happened twice in all those years, but
Wait, was there any cock slapping going on?
okay. So I changed the subject ever so slightly to how did my parents discipline me in terms of my behavior?
But we asked you another question. That's psychotic. Why would you do that?
Okay, you
Were
don't
you
see the link?
sexually disciplined? No. I
No.
only see the link if you were like beaten up, like dick first.
But hold on, if you never got molested, why would you be so uncomfortable and change the subject right away? Why would you be
There's
uncomfortable?
nothing to say. I haven't been molested, but in terms of being disciplined, here's an example.
But
that
you
I
only
was.
do that
Okay, I'm
when-
going to tell you one thing. I'm very happy that you have not been molested. However, stop saying that molestation is discipline. They're two different things. No one's disciplined their
changed
kid
the
by banging
subject.
them.
I veered away from the molestation.
Okay.
There was nothing to say about it. The answer is no.
Good, keep your mouth shut.
Dead subject.
I veered away from the molestation. That's a sentence to put on a shirt.
I veered
That's a-
away from the molestation. We're very glad you veered away from
Gapes,
molesting people.
Gapes, you know what to do, baby boy.
Bro, Gabe's going to have a field day with this episode.
Oh my god, bro.
I veered away from the molestation.
So you never had a cousin or an uncle that touched your booty hole or like he's like,
No.
check this out. Never.
I'm very happy. But then again, you seem sexually repressed.
This is something that I don't care if we spend 10 hours talking about it. I cannot explain it.
Yeah.
I am sure I could turn the equation around and say there are things in your personal life you don't want to talk about because
Yes.
they're personal. I'm using the same logic and saying that's something.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. We're just saying that you are a little sexually repressed. You've said this on this podcast before. that
I
you're a
am,
bit,
but
yeah.
there's no point discussing it because I don't really want to.
I once accidentally molested a friend of mine when I was a kid.
How did you accidentally do it?
So like
And how old were you?
I think I must have been like 7.
You were
7
7
or 8, yeah.
Okay, that's a good
And
start.
I had this good friend, and
Yeah. How good
No,
was
he was a very good friend.
Was
Like
he a good boy?
we would actually laugh a lot. No, for real.
Was he a good boy though?
He was a very good boy. And he had this diabolical little sister. And you know Drake and Josh, the show?
I don't. I know Drake. He recently attacked DeMar Rosen, but go on.
But anyway, so you know how the sister's diabolical in that show? Like
No, I don't know the show, but I believe
fuck.
you.
Anyways, so this little sister was diabolical. We would play video games. He had all the video games. We would play street hockey and shit like that. And he had this
So
one.
you didn't need to molest this kid.
Wait, hold on, I'm getting there.
Like the kid was already letting you play with all his things. Why'd you rape him?
Wait, hold on. So we would have a lot of fun. We would crack a lot of jokes. We would laugh, and we were playing this.
You know what'd be funny if I suck your dick.
We would play this one game where like
Loser gets blown.
no, this one video game where it was like blitz hockey, like those cartoony hockey games
Yeah,
where like
NHL hits or
yeah,
Mutant
like
Hockey
that.
League, yeah.
You know, they had like superpowers and shit. And then like at some point I kept losing, and I was very upset. And his sister walks in, and she goes, "You know what would be hilarious?" I go, "What?" She goes, "Pull his pants down, and then I'm gonna smack his ass." And then as
You
if
suck his dick.
No, as if he's like a bad boy. I'm like, nah, don't do that. It's weird. So I don't know how she grabbed him, put him on like the table or whatever. And
Bent him over?
She bent him over. She pulled out his pants and she started smacking his ass, bro. Like and he's screaming. He's like, ah! Stop,
And then what'd
stop.
you do?
And I'm literally like, what are you doing? She's like, smack his ass. I'm like, no. She's like, smack his ass. So then I smacked his ass. And she smacked his ass and she's laughing like diabolically. And she goes, okay, now put your finger in his bum. And then I go,
Poor guy.
no,
How
I'm
did I
not
know
going to put my
that?
finger
How
in
did
his
I
bum.
know that it was
And then
gonna
what
end
did
like
she
this?
say? She goes, no, look, like this. She put her finger in his bum, and she started laughing. She goes, now you do it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. She's like, do it. I shoved my finger up his bum, and he's yelling. And then
How old were you guys?
7 or 8. And
So
then
you fingered a 7-year-old?
And then I remember his parents refused to communicate with my mother after that point.
Yeah, you sodomized you sodomized their son. Some fat one sodomized them.
So
They were playing NHL hits. And they were playing NHL hits, and then he bent him over and sodomized him. Holy shit, that's crazy,
I
bro.
remember that time, and then I go fuck, and then you know how I remember that story? I was
But you were a child.
I was a
So
child.
you're not a child molester. You're a child molester.
You know how I remember that story? I must have been like I think it was when I worked for Telus, so I must have been like 20.
Whoa,
20 years old.
whoa. You can't finger for 7-year-old buttholes at 20.
No. So what happened was I got on the bus and I saw him getting in the bus.
And he clenched his ass.
And I go, oh fuck, that's my old friend. I go, I wonder whatever happened to why
And
we
then you
stopped hanging
remembered.
out. And then I remembered. I'm like, yeah.
Yo, Stevie,
fuck.
how's that ass
I
doing?
go, that'll do it. Yeah. If somebody
Yeah, with
put
your finger in your mouth,
yeah,
that's nice.
if somebody put a finger up my ass, I'd probably stop hanging out with him.
He never spoke to you again.
Never spoke to me again. But he was a good friend. And he
Yeah.
was a good friend. He was
Does
a
he
good
know
kid.
you have this podcast?
I hope so. Hey, I'm not gonna say your name, but if you're out there, you know who you are, and you're listening to this.
I'm sorry to
forgive
I just want to
sodomize you.
say that when we were 7, I put my finger up your bum. Your sister was diabolical at the time, and I was afraid of your sister.
What's she up to nowadays?
I have no idea, actually.
There's definitely OnlyFans out there. Just shoving
So, yeah.
a finger in her brother's ass.
So
Was it
yeah,
someone you went to school with?
no, not even. It was. I think it was through day camp we met.
Was he Greek?
I think half Greek. Yeah, I
Half
think
Greek
we were
and half
8
what else?
French. I
That's
think.
what happened. The French side. Was it his mom or his dad was French?
I think his mom.
Oh, she must have been so pissed. She looks at the
Probably,
Greek
yeah.
dad and goes, "I don't like that the Greek side's winning.
And I think we were. I think we weren't.
He's too. Your son is too Greek."
And now that I remember, I think we weren't like 6, 7. We were more like 8, 9.
Yeah.
So it's I remember. Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know why I never spoke about the story. It's a hilarious story.
He refused to speak Greek ever since that day. He only speaks French. Like, I'm not. I don't know what you heard. I've never done anything Greek in my life. So funny.
Ah, shit.
So Adam, you ever been sodomized?
I just answered no.
Just making sure now that you're more comfortable because he told you a story
Yeah.
where he committed a sex crime on a child.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And I would like to go on record. That was the only time.
Hold on. He was about to say something.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If I can please ask you to be serious and not deviate, okay?
Okay.
If you want to impress somebody, I don't care. Someone that's well known and they say, so if you want to paint a nice picture, an appealing picture to somebody, what do you say that you're into?
Not fingering kids' buttholes. Number one.
Besides that, you go to
mention-
comedy shows, obviously. Because
No, I will not tell someone, hello, I attend comedy shows. That's my job. I won't say that.
Okay.
You don't mention the gambling. Do not mention that you fellaced a woman. Please do not mention that. You always have
I
to
was
mention
going to
it.
say, I hope that word doesn't get around because people can a criminal record or something, anybody can verify it.
Look,
if
word-
you did something,
Look, here, okay.
that I can
And you know
verify
what?
it.
And you know what? How about this? How about
Yes.
this? You actually are correct. I will secede to your needs. Mention it, but not the first thing.
right?
Don't talk about gambling. This is what you're gonna do. Repeat after me.
Don't talk about gambling.
No. Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi, I'm Adam.
And if they ask you, what do you like to do? Be like, I'm a big sports fan. I have a career in entertainment. I'm in broadcasting. I also,
I would have said podcasting, not broadcasting.
well, you're broadcasting online, and some people
Oh,
don't
I
know
see.
podcasting. So say,
yeah.
I have a
Fine.
career in broadcasting. I also do enjoy very much helping the community. So I do also work helping school children get to school safely because I'm a functioning member of society. That makes you look good. And then what you should say is there was a time where I was coerced. I was tricked into fellating a stranger. But it was a whole legal thing about that. It's all
over.
done.
I don't wanna think about
It's over.
it.
I don't want
I'll
to think
find
about it.
it.
But I'm putting it on the table just in case you don't think I'm lying to you. Yes, I did fellate a woman in public, but it ended right there, and the police got involved, and they figured out that I was the victim myself of getting tricked into fellating this woman. So that just throw it out on the table and then move on with it. I think the fact that you work in broadcasting, that another one of your jobs is actually helping children be safe to get to school. So one shows that you're popular. The other shows that you like kids in the correct way, that you're keeping them safe. And then the third one shows that you're honest in the fellation and that you're not trying to hide anything.
Right.
So honesty, good with kids, and you work and you're
the sports
popular.
part.
And the sports part just because it's something to dabble on. You know, she might be like, oh, I like tennis. And then you'd be like, well, do you know Serena Williams? And then she's going to be like, yes, do you have any fun facts? And then you're going to be like, yeah, she's black. And then she's going to be like, that's not a fun fact. Everybody could see that. And then
She's won 10 tournaments, whatever.
yeah, and then you could giggle and be like, ha, 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 I don't see color, or whatever the fuck you say. And, you know, you guys start a conversation that way. Yeah, but I would say don't lead with fellation. Say the fellation because you don't want to get caught looking like a liar. But leave it for like item number 3.
Yeah.
First item, just be like you enjoy sports. Be like you work in broadcasting. You're actually a professional broadcaster. You have your own show that you're on. You're on a very hit show. And then mention that you also work with local community schools. You help kids get to school safe and on time. You're actually a very beloved member of that. Right away, the woman's going to be like, okay, this guy's good. He's good with kids and he knows how to drive. And then you go, and by the way, there was a mishap once. It was just a misunderstanding. And I had to actually serve house arrest for it. It was a misunderstanding where I was coerced into fellating a woman in public, and the cops showed up while I was attempting the fellation, not knowing that I was fellating her.
Of course.
Explain that. Yeah. And then she's going to be like, she's probably going to be like, look, a lot of people get tricked into fellating. Did you intend to fellate this woman in public? You're going to be like, I did not intend to fellate her. It just happened. It was a circumstance, but the cops came right away. So
in the eyes of the law, it was very hard for me to defend myself.
In the eyes of the law, I fellated her, but in what I did, I never fellated her to completion. So they stopped me before. Yeah. And then that's it.
You gave way too much information. You know what's going to end up happening? I sit across HR. I once did house arrest because I accidentally fellated a woman in public. That's exactly what's going to happen. That is exactly how the interview with Adam is going to go. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
I was also thinking, you know, I mean, we're this is a show where we can share thoughts, right?
Yes.
I was also thinking about something. So you've clearly demonstrated to me that, unfortunately, if you were to analyze the argument that we had not too long about the idea that I don't like going on social media. Okay, don't talk stupid. I'm going to try and let's just say there's 2 points. I want to get the first point out, then I'll get the second point out.
Affordable.
Okay? I wanted to ask you if you agree with me that a lot more, for example, right? The crime I technically did was also internet, was you know, technologically based.
Yeah.
Would you say that there's a lot more crimes that are being committed using the internet than you meet someone in a coffee shop and then you take advantage? You agree with that? There's a lot more crimes being committed the new fashion way, i.e. through the internet?
Of course, I'm with you.
Okay. I remember you were telling me, well, you see somebody, and I remember Poseidon said something along the lines of, or was it you that said, I have, I think it was, I can help you get 10,000 viewers or something like that. You remember you told me a story along those lines? And it was bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. My point being, I find that it's a little bit more, it's people are more crafty, and it's harder to not fall for stuff when you're on the internet because everyone's on the internet. There's all kinds of shit going around. Right?
No, I'm not telling you.
In person is where troubles I find.
No, it's trouble, all of it. You could fall for trouble online, trouble offline.
So my logic is stay away from social media and you won't have that problem.
Well, look, what we're trying to tell you is don't worry so much about staying out of trouble. What we're trying to tell you, me and Poseidon here, is that you're going to get into trouble and you're going to meet people. You have to stop being scared of meeting people. Just when you meet them, you gauge them. And if you're meeting a woman, what we're telling you is you don't necessarily have to tell her. I mean, you don't necessarily have to tell her that you've fallen for all these scams. You could tell her, you have to tell her about the fellation in public just because you don't want her to find out and then think that you're hiding something from her.
So actually, I have to speak clearly now. Do you agree with my newly made point, which says that it's a little bit trickier defending yourself when you're on the street and saying, no, I'm not taking part in this business operation, goodbye, is easier than you meet someone on the internet, they seem to be an interesting person, they could be a celebrity, and then all of a sudden you find yourself getting tricked. I just want to know if you say yes or no to that question.
We have to get him on Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah, you're definitely a spectrum.
We have to petition the creators in Australia to come do it here in Montreal, and we have to get him on. There's no other way. I think there's no other way for him to find love.
And I'm going on a little bit of a tangent. Do you happen to know anybody in your immediate circle of friends that's been used via the internet?
Yes,
I consider you my immediate friend.
Besides myself. Simple yes or no? Or
we do have a friend in common actually that recently got had.
Oh yeah, actually, Jamie Boom Boom was fucking super filleted.
Yeah, he was heavily filleted, actually.
Dude, he got fucking filleted.
Yeah, and in this case, his case is much more simpler than yours because he wasn't tricked into doing fellation. He was just simply filleted.
So they got him to buy into some scam or some.
No, they just filleted him heavily and repeatedly
and he couldn't say no
against his will.
No, he couldn't say no. In fact, he paid a couple $1,000s to get his accounts back.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not making any severe statements by saying this, but I'm just saying that at least it's happened to others. I shouldn't feel like I should be raked over the coals.
No, you're not raked over the coals. Intellectuals out.